One on a Wednesday morning here on the Michigan Insider on Sports Talk 1050 WTKA, online at WTK.com. We're live here inside the Suburban Chevrolet Make the Choice studios. We have Marcus Ray for some Rays of Light, brought to you by The Sports Bar West Side. They're all new. They're at the corner of Jackson and Zeeb, and their motto is eat sports, drink sports, watch sports, and talk sports. They're The Sports Bar West Side. Sometimes you go down there, you might even see a guy named Marcus Ray.
I'm at the sports bar all the time when I come to Ann Arbor. I mean, Ben is my guy. Matter of fact, I'll be over there tonight, after Brady's radio show at the Pizza House. And I'm going to go see Ben. And we text, talk all day, and that's my guy, man. So I'm always at the sports bar. If you want to find me, I'll be at the sports bar.
All right, so Marcus, on Monday, all the talk, of course, was about Michigan losing in blowout fashion. But that last touchdown, Michigan State scored. Some people were saying it was classless, which I disagree with vehemently. Michigan State did what you're supposed to do to a rival, especially when they come on the field and they throw a stake in the ground. Hey, well, yeah, you try to put a stake in them. But I didn't have a problem with the stake. The issue with the stake to me wasn't that it was, quote, unsportsmanlike or, quote, classist. The issue with the stake to me was that they couldn't back it up. I didn't think it warranted an apology. I don't think there was anything to apologize for. I don't think it was beneath Michigan. Now, that take put me on an island. Put me on an island because it was, quote, beneath Michigan. It was, quote, classless. Michigan issued an apology for it. Greg Skrepenek said, no, that's not how you do it. John Jansen said, that's not how you do it. I understand all of that, Marcus. Didn't change my take, though. I didn't think there was anything to apologize for. You had a team that went out there, tried to show some attitude, and couldn't back it up. That doesn't make it wrong. That doesn't make it classless. That just makes it a little ill-advised. If you're going to do it, back it up. That doesn't make them unsportsmanlike. I got to hear it from you, though. Again, I'll throw it to you and see what you say. Am I looking at this wrong, like everyone says, or am I looking at it right?
I'm going to join this island with you. I think you're looking at it right. See, all the antics, they really don't matter. And it's like, people say, oh, that's beneath Michigan. That's not Michigan. Well, what is Michigan? Because let me tell you something. Being nice from 1993 to 96 got us 4 losses. And you don't have to be classless. I think that the performance, if anything, was classless by Michigan. As far as they're on the field, that was more disgusting than watching Joe Bolden stick a little tent stake in the ground. So what? He popped off. He went out there. Michigan couldn't back it up. Let me explain something to you. In 96, when Ohio State was undefeated, number 1 in the country, we went down to their house on senior day. And Belisari and those guys were, coming out the tunnel. Jared Irons is sitting there looking at me. I said, Jared, I'm getting ready to run on the field. He said, no, let's wait. Let's be respectful and wait for Belisari and his mom. I said, Bo Schembechler said there's no stragglers. So if I run, you got to run. And guess what? I start winding up my little you know how that little bull starts to come out? I start winding up like that. And I took the field, and we all ran, bumped into Belisari and his mom. Is that not Michigan? No. But so what? We got a psychological advantage over Ohio State. We stomped on the O, kicked up some of the grass, and looked at their sideline. No, that's not Michigan. No, Lloyd Carr didn't promote that. But we had a group of players who could back it up, and we was ready to fight. And when we went out there, and we won 13-9, and didn't nobody complain then. And people tend to forget that the 97 was a bunch of renegades. We got tired of being nice. No, we're not going to help you up off the ground. We're going to talk trash to you and your coach because it's all about an attitude. So to sit there and act like, antics or comments, man, if that stuff works against you, then you weren't ready to play. If it works, if you say some bulletin board material and it gets another team ready to go, then they weren't ready to play. This game is won and lost on the field, has nothing to do with antics. And so, like Terrence Quinn told you, hey, you know what? We was on a punt return. I looked the Michigan State guy in the face on the field and said, you're ugly. You're ugly and your mama's ugly, and I'm about to block you and work you like a part-time job. And next thing you know, that's what happened. But when you play in these rivalry games, man, there's no love. That's your enemy. That is your natural born enemy, and you do whatever it takes to win as long as you play clean football. So there were times when I hit people on the sideline against Ohio State, and I looked John Cooper in the face. You better get this backup. I said, if Pepe Pearson's backup ain't ready, it's over, because he ain't going to finish. Which one of y'all have my jersey on this week on the scout team? Like, I was popping off like that. And after the 96 interception, hey, I looked at John Cooper. I said, this is my house. I'm from Columbus, Ohio, not you. And he tucked his head and ran off the sideline, and Michigan walked away with the victory. Asked Bruce Motti. He was standing right there. So when I saw Bruce, I said, this is my house. Oh, this is our house. You know what I mean? I try to get a little more Michigan. But all that nice guy stuff gets you beat. Nice guys finish last. As long as you run a clean program, you play good football. I don't care what you do. If he stuck a stake in the ground, he should have backed it up. His teammates couldn't do it. But I don't have any problem. You need attitude. People tend to forget that the 97 champions, the best team in the history of this program, had attitude, had renegades, had guys who went out and choked the life out of people. You think we weren't talking trash to Penn State? You think it's Michigan to look Joe Paterno in the face and say, is he dead? Is that Michigan?
I think someone told me that some player on that 97 team looked at Joe Paterno and said, shut up, old man.
Yeah, I said that. I looked at Joe Paterno when Adrian knocked out Bob Stevenson. I said, Bob Stevenson, are you dead? Right? And then Joe Paterno, hey, get out of here. No, you shut up, old man. This is our stadium. Oh, that's not Michigan. That's beneath Michigan, but you'll take the 34-8 win. You'll take the national championship. So it's about intimidation. We were Michigan. We wear the winged helmets. We're going to bring the fight to you. And if there's a little bit of antics that go with it, then so be it. But that's how you roughhouse people. You want to know the difference between going 3-9, 7-5, 10-2, and 12-0 is attitude. And we had guys that could back it up and would go in your house and whoop you right in front of you and your family, take your food, and run up out of there, and you couldn't do nothing about it. Those are facts. But and you know what? Part of me wish I had a Michigan flag. I would have stuck it right in the middle of Ohio State's field in 96. I would have planted a Michigan flag right on that Spartan S, right in their turf, and did the Tony Atlas Superman and say, now what you going to do about it? So hey, when we have 4 straight seasons with 4 losses, that's what it came to. And so we rewrote how you play football at Michigan. So all that's beneath Michigan. Yeah, and then it gets you 4 losses too. And sometimes it may take a little bit extra. The only problem is you better be able to back it up and don't apologize after you do it. You just own it. Yeah, he stuck a stake in the ground. Okay, so what? We lost. He didn't back it up. And I'm not, you don't ever apologize to your enemy because he wants your neck. He wants your blood, Sam. You understand?
Yeah. Hey, you know what? To me, if you wanted to assess classlessness in the rivalry, to me, that's a few years ago when Denard's getting his neck twisted and you know, Lewan's almost getting his arm broken, and they say, yeah, we wanted 60 minutes of unnecessary roughness. And look, if you're going to say something is classless going outside of clean football, which you said, hey, as long as you play clean football, that's what you said. Right. As long as you play clean football, everything else is cool. That wasn't clean football. So if you wanted to get down on something, get down on that. But this other stuff, man, it just strikes me.
It's soft.
Exactly.
That's what it is. It's just flat out soft. To go out there and you get pounded. Now you apologize. Man, you got to make Mark D'Antonio feel better. Forget him.
Did they apologize, Ira, for the unnecessary roughness thing? I don't remember that.
No. They owned it. Actually, they just said, hey,
yeah,
that's what happened.
That's what we did. We're going to keep
on to the next one. Yeah, you're going to worry about that. We're on to the next one. But, it's all about attitude. Big Ten football, for real, at its core is about attitude. It's a tough man contest. Terry Glenn made comments about Charles Woodson. Oh, yeah, this freshman can't guard me. And then Boston's popping off. What you do is you go punch them dudes in the mouth. You take over their stadium, or if they come in your house being disrespectful, you whoop them. And that's what Michigan State did when they got disrespected. They were the better team, all right? They had more attitude. They could back up whatever. They actually don't play as dirty anymore.
Right. That's
you know
true.
what I'm saying?
That's
and
true.
So they go out there and beat you clean, fair and square
that's
now.
Absolutely true.
And that's the way it should go. And when you got the heavyweight belt, when you're the champion, to beat a man, you got to beat the man. Like I told you last week. Woo! I wanted that Ric Flair. But that's what it's all about, man. And you think nice guys give up points? There's a reason Willie gave up 8.9 points a game. Because we didn't like you. And we didn't want you to score, and you're not going to shove the ball or no steak down our throat. We're going to stick it in your throat and in your heart. That's how we played. And I'm going to tell you, Charles was the best player. He was the face of that. But Lloyd Carr will know if you ask him. I was the heart and soul, that mean, nasty, effort attitude. That was me. And Terrence and them will tell you, because we had some nice guys, you got to turn nice guys into renegades on Saturdays. And you go out and you choke the life out of people, and it just intimidates everybody on film, in the media, and Oh, that's not Michigan. We popped off in the media. Charles called Stanley Jackson. He was like, he was talking about David Boston. He said, I felt like a stepchild father chastising my stepson out there. I wore an Ohio State pullover to the press conference after we beat them. Is that not Michigan? So what? When you win, it cures all. Yes, I had to get up and run. Yes, Lloyd Carr addressed all of that, but he wasn't complaining behind closed doors because it added up to victories. And so when we was popping off at the Rose Bowl, we popped off in the media when Michigan State ran that fake field goal in 97, and I flat out said, hey, trick plays and trash talk don't win championships. We left Penn State. I said on national TV, hey, we are Michigan. They are Penn State. What more can I say? That's popping off. So some of the guys that played with us tend to forget that we had some wild banshees that played under a controlled rage for 4 quarters every Saturday, and we made history. So all the nice guy stuff, keep that away from me. That's not rays of light. That's whack juice. Dripping whack juice, Sam. So go ahead, take us to a break.
You know what's really funny?
I'm just saying, hey man, that's all. I guess that's what speaks to me. I'm just saying, I don't know what it is. Maybe that's other than the win. The wins were certainly fun, but it was the way the wins were achieved. I remember watching all of that, saying, man, these guys, they're gonna talk it. And they're going to talk it
pop off
until from start to finish.
We're still popping off on the 97 documentary. I said I stood over David Boston like Ali did Sonny Liston. And when I hit Boston, I ran to Ohio State sideline and told their strength coach, come get this girl off the field. Come get her. She not ready. That's how we used to talk to sidelines.
I wonder, and I guess that's we got to get to a break. That was one of the things that I said that, if people really had a clue what guys actually say on the football field, maybe their sense of classlessness would relax a little bit.
It would minimize.
It would diminish greatly because, boy, a stake in the ground is tame by comparison to what guys actually say to one another.
I thought it was kind of cute and funny. I was like, what's wrong with that? Okay, you stuck a little pin in the ground. Cool. I wish you would have had a flag or a machete. You know what I mean? And so what? It's college football. I actually like when teams do that sometimes. It's a rivalry game. So what? Now ain't the time to be respectful. Because everybody has disrespected Michigan at this point. Michigan has disrespected themselves. Just go out and play. If you win the game, cool. If you don't, cool. But don't get all caught up in all the stuff that don't matter.
All right, let's go to the phones real quick because I know I said we got to get to a break, but wanted to get another former player take on Stan Edwards. So Stan, wait, what do you think? Was it off base saying that there was no need for an apology, or do you feel like some other former players felt that, hey, that's beneath Michigan and an apology was warranted?
Well, no, I don't think an apology was warranted. I really don't want to comment on that because that'll get my blood pressure up about a whole lot of other things. But let me share with you about the 1980 team. Keith Bostic, who was an All-American strong safety, Marion Body, T.J. Jackson, Brian Carpenter. They talked more smack than anybody that we ever had in the secondary. Nobody talked more smack than our captain, Andy Canavino. We talked so much smack that year, it was unreal. And Bo didn't say a word. You want to know why? Because that was one of the best teams that ever come through Ann Arbor. Actually, was probably the best, and the 97 team was probably second best. We can talk about that another day.
Hang up on my big brother Stan. Hang up on him.
but to Marcus's point, man, those guys talk. I'll never forget when we were down in Columbus, Ohio, and those guys talked the entire game. They actually talked to Ohio State receiver. I can't remember his name, or number 44. They talked him out of the game. And they talked so much stuff. He was scared. He was looking for them, and he couldn't even play. So let's be very clear about something. We didn't play dirty football. We didn't play illegal football. But when we knew we had a team that could really get you off your game and we could physically back it up, we talked, and Bo never said a word. You can ask anybody in any era that ever played for that man. They'll tell you the exact same thing. Good job, guys.
My man, Stan.
Thanks a lot, Stan. And by the way, Brian Carpenter was from a certain place. Mr. White. There you go. I'm just throwing it out there where Brian Carpenter was from. And, the Bryans, they called them the Bryans at Flint Southwestern. One was Brian Carpenter. The other one was my Uncle Brian Sutton. They used to
pop off.
They used to pop off something huge, something serious. We got to get to a break. 8:46 on a Wednesday. We got to get to a break. Back on the other side here on the Michigan Insider on Sports Talk 1050 WTKA, the official voice.